Goondogs Outdoor Adventures here. We're looking into a little bit into survival, prepping, homesteading, short-term and long-term survival, and given situations, economic issues in your own family, just being prepared for different things that can happen. Now, a few years ago, I started doing a little bit of prepping, and just because someone preps doesn't mean they're nuts. I know the media likes to portray that. But we've used it already for different things. I ran into some financial issues and was out of work for a little while. And so we went into our food supply and used some of that to help us economically. And we didn't really suffer going into debt or anything because we had this food on supply, already supplied in our basement, good food and so on. But I'll show you a little bit what I did just to start out. I got beans and rice. Now beans and rice are very inexpensive. I put them in these little 5-gallon buckets and I date them. And they're good for 10 years. Most of the rice in one of these 5-gallon buckets with rice in it will supply one adult 2,000 calories a day for a week. So you throw a few of those in there, just add them up a little by little. You go out grocery shopping, spend 10 bucks like once a week, and after a while you got a little little buildup. I also put some canned goods, some store-bought canned goods, and I got them dated and so on. This is 2016. Some canned beans. Now, while the store-bought canned stuff does not last that long, only maybe 2 or 3 years, some of them. But what we have done, we've done a lot of our own canning. And let me tell you, I've tasted some of the stuff we canned ourselves, like some beets that were 7 years old. They still tasted fine. And I've never seen one of these cans go bad after a long period of time once they were sealed right. And it can be done very inexpensively in large volume, like with tomatoes, apples. We live in apple country. We get lots of apples bulk. You can grow a ton of tomatoes. We got peaches bulk this year. We canned a bunch of peaches and so on, and they last for years and years. So we just do extra. And some years we're not able to do much canning. Last summer was a terrible summer with the drought and everything. We didn't do as much canning, and so we had extras. And we had extras when we ran into some little bit of financial issues. So the thing is just getting started. Just throw a few things away, just a few bucks a week. I was watching, in Puerto Rico with a hurricane, and we have snowstorms around here. One time a snowstorm came in. They're only expecting 3 to 7 inches of snow, and there's 40 inches. And there's a lot of people stuck without any groceries in their house. Usually they know the storm's coming, and they wipe out the grocery store. But what if the snowstorm's really bad and you're out of commission for over a week? You're going to be hungry. And too many people are trying to depend on the government to bail them out. We need to be prepared ourselves. And I'm looking at Puerto Rico and these places, a horrendous hurricane came in. And my question is, if they had experience with hurricanes and a really, really bad hurricane is coming in, why didn't they have like a 1 week or 2 week? I'm sure a lot of people did. 1 or 2 weeks or 3 weeks of water prepared for them, or maybe something you can, you can buy these camping water pumps where you can provide your own water, and some are good, contaminated water. They'll purify it and so on. And I know a lot of it's economical and so on, but the thing is to be prepared, and no matter what areas and what can hit us. Like with us in this area, it's snowstorms. We're by Lake Ontario. We can get tons of snow in a short period of time. In a few days, and then we're stuck in our house. And you're not able to get down the roads. Our snow removal equipment is great. We're usually dug out by a day or two. But if the storm continues, then you're not able to get out. Or you may be in earthquake country, fire country. Watching some of these shows, these homesteading shows, where people had almost no food in their house, and a snowstorm could have hit any minute, and they'd be in serious trouble. You know, just evaluate your situations and so on, and figure out what would be the best plan just to get started for you. And don't be overwhelmed. Start small. Think small, start small, and just start accumulating things a little bit at a time.